Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com, coverage of the 2020 Olympia weekend in Orlando, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with Milos the Mind, SARCEV. Did I say it right? I got it right,
Perfectly.
Yeah. We just wrapped up some of the morning judging. They kicked us out for COVID cleaning before the Ms. Olympia, but we want to talk about the 212 division. This was a really great 212 Olympia division this year, a battle we saw. I'll go to you first. Let's start from the top. Who do you have winning?
Okay, I'm going to say this. I already posted on my Instagram. Hands down, Sean Clarita. I mean, that was not even close. I mean, I love George Peterson. I love Kamal. But with Sean Clarita came today and he brought, it was spectacular. He was like, I was talking about this small version of Ronnie Coleman. Round, full, exploding. He's not as wide. And maybe those guys are hoping that they can get him on a width. But you see, pose by pose, he was just way overpowering.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super impressed because he put on 15 pounds. He's only 5'1" or 5'2" at the most, and that's a lot of weight. You know, for a new guy, that's a great gain. But he's been a pro for a while. He's been training for probably 20 years. You don't see that, and you don't see people put on 15 pounds without blowing out their waistline, their midsection.
Yeah, especially if you think about it, he was like maybe 160. You know, that's 10% of the weight.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
It's spectacular what he did. I think there was an argument for him winning even last year. For me, he definitely beat Derek last year. And Kamal had this crazy conditioning and great aesthetics. And was a bigger guy, and I think the judges just went with Kamal. But Kamal coming in a little bit bigger also, he was still overpowered by little Sean Clarita. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because, you know, I know Kamal did put on some size since last year, but Sean put on more. Sean improved more than he did.
Hardness, density, round muscle bellies, just that pure muscle that we're all looking for, and aesthetic. Super small waist, deep abs, crazy legs. I mean, this is where Kamal is a little shallow. He doesn't have a sweep to his thighs. His abs are perfect, but his waist is not super small. So that, lines, when you compare, you would still go to Sean Clarita.
So third place, I have George the Bull Peterson in third. Beautiful physique. He's pretty much the same look he brought to Classic, with just a little more fuller, rounder, thicker look, but he kept the waist small. Derek Lunsford, from the back, he still looked really good, but from the front, to me, he looked really flat, depleted.
Yes, well, you see, I just think that Derek doesn't have that mature muscle. It's still baby muscle, what I call it. When you look at him, okay, his legs were this time sharper, drier, so you say, well, maybe he's in condition, but then when you look upstairs, it's still not that hard, dense muscle like Clarita has or Kamal. So, beautiful structure. So, Derek is fourth. For me, there is still a question between George Peterson and Kamal if they get a few more comparisons, because, let's face it, I mean, George is huge and round. So as he didn't flare well in classic physique because classic criteria, this is a bodybuilding show. So they're looking for a round, thick muscle. So there is a lot of poses that I think George could take Kamal.
I still have Kamal a solid second,
just
based on muscle maturity and detail. He has a little more of that than George for sure. But man, they're all great. Fifth and sixth, I don't know who to give it to. I got either Ahmad and Angel or Angel and Ahmad, Ashkanani and Calderon Frias.
I was very impressed with Ahmad Ashkanani going into the show. I've seen some pictures, and I really thought that he brought the legs very well. But on the stage, he was not visible. Maybe he wasn't just posing and good enough. From the side there, but from the front, I mean, he was a huge guy. He was big. And this is where I actually catch my eye, because he came out first. It's like, whoa, Ahmad is so huge. And then he came Sean Clarita, and I was comparing like, oh my God, Sean actually looked more massive, compared to his height. But I would definitely give it to Ahmad Ashkanani, fifth, and Angel would be a good choice for sixth.
Anybody that has good potential that wasn't in that top six, you think has a chance at maybe being in top 3 or 5 next year?
There was a lot of guys in the second call out, and they were interchanging. There's another Derek.
Osland.
And there was, quite close. So there's a lot of guys that if they bump it up a notch, they can be contenders next year.
So we have the confirmation round tonight where placings can change. Nothing's set in stone yet. I don't know if Derek can fill out enough in a few hours to move up the placings and get past somebody like George. You know, we'll see what happens. But how much can somebody change in, say, 6 hours?
You know, some people can change it, but I don't see that happening because it's just Derek has a little softness to him. You know, so even if he fills up a little bit, even if he dries out a little bit, he's not going to have that conditioning and popping muscle like George has. So, you know, for me, I agree with you that right now after prejudging, you know, Kamal should be second, and but he is not safe because George is very close.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to see how it all comes out, how it shakes out. Just a few hours tonight. If you don't have the pay-per-view yet, you should have it by now, but if you don't, it's olympiaproductions.com. Go to the musculardevelopment.com forums, play-by-play thread. It says 2020 Olympia play-by-play. I've been uploading my pictures of the comparisons. You can be your own judge. They're all up there right now for you to check out. Please do that. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. For Milos, SARCEV, and Ron Harris, thanks for watching.